YouTube just had a major update, and this major update has been something that most creators think is awesome, is great, except for the fact that now there are a bunch of creators magically getting demonetized and losing all monetization on their channels. Frankly, it could be temporarily or forever. And this is part of a huge legal bait and switch, whereby the new policy and the policy terms actually included not just good things, but also bad things. So we're going to talk about that update, what's included, some of the good stuff, and then also the bad stuff that has led people to get demonetized and how those creators can avoid it. So for those creators out there, YouTubers out there looking to avoid demonetization, there's some tips I'm going to include in this video. As always, I'm Andrew Esquire, an American attorney over here in Asia, and this is my channel, The Legal Mindset, where we teach you to be your own judge. Of course, I have my other channels, Go East Gentlemen, Bangkok Bros, and Legal Mindset for whatever type of content you are into. So let's hop right into it. This is one that was actually requested of me to cover, this July 2023 update to the YouTube terms of service. Oftentimes, look, these are things we don't read, and that's all part of terms and service. That was part of the South Park episode, you know, the Apple terms of service episode, where they're trying to get the human centipede, where they're trying to get it to read, if you guys remember that one. Yeah, this is something that is really a struggle for most people because they don't want to go through all the terms of service. And in fact, most times it's not worth going through the terms of service. But in this particular instance, you're now seeing people losing their channels, getting demonetized, and they're wondering, hey, I haven't really changed anything. I'm doing the same things I did a month ago or 2 months ago. Why all of a sudden am I getting demonetized? Well, the reason is there was just a major update. So let's jump right into that and get into what the changes are. So obviously there was a change in the partner program eligibility. Now this has been perceived as a good thing. Now the eligibility has been bifurcated, which means split into two. For the basic eligibility for the YouTube partner program, i.e. making money off of YouTube, the requirements for the basic level have dropped. And what do I mean here? Well, the basic level is things like super chats, super stickers, memberships, that sort of thing. Those basic elements of monetization, yeah, those have dropped down to 500 subscribers from 1,000. Also, the watch hours you need has dropped to 3,000, and the shorts views has dropped to 3 million from 10 million. So the requirements are lower, and a lot of people were excited about this. They were jumping up and down. They're like, yes, this is so awesome. This is great. Well, not so fast. Well, first of all, the ad revenue requirements are still the same. So all of these numbers, the 1,000, 4,000, 10 million, those actually still apply for the ad revenue. So that is the ads that are played during the video. So if you want to get that ad revenue, you got to wait till you have the same amount as previously. So you still need the 1,000, 4,000, and 10 million. It's only for the base level, for super stickers, super chats, memberships, that you're having these lowered requirements. But with this comes changes in terms and service. So you see right here, you had to accept these terms by July 10th, which is why all these creators are seeing problems right now. Now, they say, look, we're having new eligibility criteria, new way to earn, opening access, but you also have updated terms, right? And you see right there, it even says you need to take steps to ensure your channel continues monetizing. That's a little bit of a hint there that if you don't take affirmative action, some people are going to get demonetized. And you see over here, a friend of mine, Drunk3PO over here, had a post on Twitter. It said, "Hello, Team YouTube. My History of Pirates channel was demonetized or demonetized for reused content. All videos have their own script about historical figures. We never reused anyone's content. This has to be a mistake. Here's the channel." Now, I certainly hope he gets it restored. And anybody out there, if you guys just want to retweet, you know, hey, Team YouTube, please help me out. Please help my good buddy out over here. That would be very, very helpful. But I'm going to give some examples why people like Jay are getting their channels demonetized. And there's 4 different mistakes that people are making out there for this. So the first mistake is they're using some sort of profanity at the beginning of the video or around ads. So we'll just start at what the first mistake here is that people are making. This is one of the terms of service updates they've made. And guys, you have to understand, like with many laws in the legal field, oftentimes policies, which are really just kind of a contract between you, the user, and the company, they actually have to have some sort of consideration for updating these terms of service. Well, one of the things they did update is, hey, no profanity in the first 8 seconds to 10 seconds of the video. And what happened is, along with these nice, desirable lowering of the eligibility, right? This is the carrot, came the stick, where we are going to demonetize your video and possibly your channel if you use profanity in the beginning of the video. And it's not just in the beginning of the video. The other thing is, if you're placing ad breaks in your videos, let's say you have ads, it's a 10-minute video and you have an ad at the 2-minute mark, the 4-minute mark, 6-minute mark, 8-minute mark, so about every 2 minutes you've got an ad. Well, if you've got profanity around those ad breaks, yeah, that's actually going to demonetize you. So that's one of the big things that they caught people on in that terms of service changes. You're using profanity. And look, listen, I've tried to, especially in my recent videos, especially in these pre-produced videos, I've really tried not to swear. And you guys know, when I have long streams and I get really worked up, someone sends up a super chat and it really works me up. Sometimes I swear, sometimes I let out something like an excited utterance, as we would say in the legal field. It happens. And look, I don't think people should, need to go to confession every day or need to repent to the YouTube gods for that. It happens. However, because of these updates, they're becoming more and more strict because they are trying to play more and more ads that are family friendly. Ad revenue, despite the fact that your channel may be marked as not for kids, is still looking for things that are relatively family friendly, that are relatively kid friendly, even if it's an adult channel. So profanity is a big thing they're looking to limit. So creators should limit that. The second thing is using copyrighted music. And one thing I noticed, particularly when I looked at Jay's channel, the History of Pirates channel, is I think it may not have been repetitive music that actually, repetitive content, reused content. I think it may have been music. There's a possibility that some of the music he was using might have been copyrighted. And if that's the case, yeah, your entire channel can get taken down for copyrighted music. You really have to be careful for that. A lot of times in the past, yeah, you might just have a kind of a notice on a video or a little ding here or there, but it's becoming more and more strict when you're using copyrighted music on those videos. So they're coming down fairly hard on that, even if it is fair use. And one of the unfair things is, YouTube is supposed to apply a fair use analysis before they take down a video, strike a video, remove a video. But we all know they're not doing that. That's part of the hard part about this stick. Yeah, we got the carrot of, okay, you can monetize earlier, right? You've got this now, this shorter window here to monetize. But the problem is they're coming in and they're hitting channels for copyrighted music harder. It's a very hard thing to do. But you know what's an easy thing to do? Smashing the like button or subscribing. I really hope you guys enjoy this type of content. Enjoy informative content. I try to entertain and educate on this channel. So if you guys like that, make sure you like this video, share it out, share it with your favorite creators, share it with them, and let them know, hey, look, listen, there's some things you got to do a little bit differently, things you got to mix up in order to avoid that demonetization, in order to avoid triggering the TOS, YouTube Terms of Service. And these are the types of policy things that companies do on an active basis. And how do I know that? As a lawyer, I worked on company policy. I was in-house counsel. So I know they do these updates. And because they need consideration for any amendment, because you need to have some sort of consideration, some sort of bonus, that's why they added in the good stuff with the bad stuff. So just being mindful of that. Now let's look over here at mistake number 3. You upload repetitive content on YouTube. Now, some people might say, okay, well, Andrew, what is repetitive content on YouTube? What does repetitive mean? Well, repetitive does not mean you upload verbatim the same content. No, no, no. People are now having issues because they have the same intro, let's say. So let's say you had a 30-second to a minute intro in the beginning of your video. Well, YouTube's algorithm is going to look at that and say, yep, it's repetitive. This is something that's repetitive. And they're going to ding you for it. They might knock your channel for it. So just be very careful if you're someone who runs a standard intro, who does that. You may be getting dinged for it, shadow banned for it, and possibly you can even get demonetized for it. So make sure that you're trying to mix it up, that you're trying to do things a little bit differently, and have some sort of custom, especially a custom intro, but also things that are mixed up during your videos. Now, this doesn't mean you can't clip your videos. This doesn't mean you can't come in and make changes, but it seems like the repetitive content is going to be pushed down. And it will stand to see over the next couple months if clips are being suppressed because YouTube is flagging those as repetitive content. Like I said, I don't think you're going to get your channel taken down for clipping. Let's say you do a live streamer like me and you clip your channel like me. I don't think we're going to get our channels taken down. However, I do think they are suppressing it in the algorithm. And since July 10th, I have noticed that a lot of the clips and other things are not performing the same way they would be performing before the policy update went into place. And last but not least, the last thing is not having the right settings. This is actually a pretty big one. So it's not just marking for kids or not for kids. That is actually very important, but and YouTube will force you to do that one. Is this content for kids or not for kids? But look, they're actually really forcing hey, if you need this to be age restricted, you've got to do this beforehand. And they're really punishing you if you do not mark everything correctly beforehand. So we're talking about the content guide, what type of content in the video is in the video, what things you're showing in the video. During that self-analysis, that self-assessment, if you're giving inaccurate information, they're really punishing you for not being accurate in your assessment of your videos. If you're out there not accurately marking your videos, yeah, you're actually going to get into trouble. And this is where they're ending up demonetizing channels and taking channels down, is because they're not marking their content correctly. Now, we can all say this is unfair, and certainly YouTube does a lot of things that are unfair, but of course YouTube is still the giant silverback gorilla. We have to acknowledge that, look, Rumble and Odyssey, whatever, all these other platforms, I hope they get there. I would love them to get there. They are not there yet in terms of eyeballs, in terms of viewership, and certainly in terms of international audience. When I'm over here in Asia, I see people saying YouTube, watching YouTube, seeing YouTube. If I go to somebody on the street here in Bangkok and I say, hey, listen, do you know about YouTube? They're going to say, yeah, of course I know about YouTube. But if I say, hey, do you know Rumble? They're going to look at me blankly, like Rumble, like stomach rumble maybe, but they're not going to know what we're talking about yet. So we still need these alt tech platforms to come up, so perhaps we can get more competition and better say so in terms of the terms of service. We also might want to see some pushback on Section 230, which I think will put more scrutiny on YouTube and its ilk. Of course, let me know what you guys think of these policy updates. Are you a content creator? Does this affect you? Has this affected somebody you know, some channel you know? Is there somebody you'd like me to give a shout out to on Twitter, to Team YouTube, to try to get their channel remonetized or try to push them back up in the algorithm? Let me know. I will catch you guys later. Stay based. Peace.